Greetings YouTube, LMS Tactical here. Sorry about the face. I went to the dermatologist and as if I wasn't ugly enough, they burned off a bunch of sun damage from my face. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of a tour into uncharted territories with you. Here's the caveat. As you know, my career path has been law enforcement, and when you're in law enforcement, you don't have free speech, so to speak. In other words, I wouldn't be making these YouTube videos if I was still on the job, or I'd probably be sent to the psychiatrist's office and fired the same day, right? You can't speak your mind out here without any repercussions, unless you're completely free from the system. So here we go. Now, I understand this doesn't come without a certain amount of risk, because I look at you guys as my YouTube family. This may piss off some of you more fundamentally religious people. You may cut me off. It's a risk I'm going to take because I am authentic and I need to be myself. And that's all I ever ask from anybody is accept me how I am. Here we go. Now listen. This is not going to be like any topic that we've talked about here because there's other channels for it. In fact, I have one. You may have seen my new commercial. But I'm going to throw it out here once just to see where everybody's head's at. See what you guys think about this. And I am talking about a possible belief. Well, screw that. I'm not going to clean it up. I'm talking about a belief in extraterrestrial life. That's right. What does that have to do with tactics? Well, if you think about it, if there ever was full disclosure, and I'll get back to that in a second, meaning that the government was to admit that they've been in contact with extraterrestrials for some time now, then how you take it, how you deal with it emotionally and physically, there goes that's your tie into the tactics. I like to talk about tactics for tactical living. Here comes the train. Hang on a second. Hey, listen, while we're waiting for that train to pass, maybe you need a laugh and maybe UFOs and all that other crap ain't your thing. Why don't you try out my comedy channel? That's right, I'm a funny fucking dude. Okay, so you want to get over to Redneck Media. That's the YouTube channel name, all connected, no spaces, Redneck Media. See you there. I think the train's gone now. Let's get back to the subject. Tell you, the train traffic doesn't start until I start making a video. As I alluded to, I understand it. People that are completely grounded in their fundamental religious beliefs are not going to have any room for the possibility of extraterrestrial life. I'm not like that. I do have my religious beliefs, and I align myself with Christianity as that's the closest fit, although I don't buy everything I've read in the Bible. Because anything that's been touched by the hand of man, no matter who inspired it, is flawed. And I could do a whole video on that. But right now I want to talk about full disclosure. Full disclosure means the government coming clean with all of the information that they have about UFOs and maybe their previous encounters, some of our technological advances that may have come from collaboration between our government and them being whoever's out there. And what I want to know is, what are your thoughts on this? Or strike that. What are your thoughts on this subject? Are you completely comfortable and sure that there is nobody in the entire universe other than us? And mind you, with pictures and images from the Hubble telescope, Google it, look it up if you haven't seen it. I can give you the layman's breakdown. They took the Hubble telescope and they pointed it to the darkest, emptiest spot in space. And they left the aperture open for a certain amount of time. I don't know if it was a couple of days or what, I don't remember. But when they developed that film, it turned out that there were, and you can see this, all you do is Google it, there were millions upon millions upon millions of little dots in the image. And do you know what each one of those dots was? They weren't stars, and they weren't planets. They were galaxies. Each of the millions of dots was a galaxy. Now you think about that for a second. When you realize that there are more galaxies, not planets, but more galaxies in a 2-foot span of space, that if you held up your hands a foot apart and looked up, there's more galaxies there than there are grains of sand in the entire world, probably times 1,000,000. How somebody could believe that out of all of those, just this one little speck of sand that we call Earth is the only one with life, with intelligent life? How fucking arrogant is that? That is arrogant beyond my ability to describe it. But I'm concerned with what you think. And I have a channel for this subject too. It's Falling Awake 1000. Capital F, capital W, or capital A. Everything combined, no spaces. Falling Awake 1000. Now I haven't made videos on that channel in quite some time. But I am going to start getting back into that because I believe full disclosure is going to happen within this year. I was talking to a buddy of mine who's very, very connected with the UFO industry. I call it an industry, but because I couldn't think of another word, but you get it. And we were just discussing this just last night, and yeah, we're convinced that this is going to happen, certainly within our lifetime. Okay? So part of being tactical in your life is being prepared for things that could totally shatter your preconceived ideas of humanity and where we came from. I mean, let's face it, if they found another, strike that, when they find out that there are other civilizations older and more advanced than us, what is that going to do with you in terms of your feelings on where we come from and who we are? Is it going to alter your religious beliefs drastically? I've came to peace with the subject many, many years ago, because I've been a believer just about my whole life. I've had some personal experiences. You get over to Falling Awake 1000 YouTube channel, and you'll actually see some of the videos that I've taken. And you can say fake, and you can say you know, Chinese balloons, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, hear me out. And I want to hear you out. What are your thoughts? LMS Tactical out.